Welcome to the BoyFriends podcast, where we help you find your circle
and your man.
I'm Jarrod D. King. I'm here with the full cast of the BoyFriends podcast. We have Sarun, we've got Melvin, Renee, and Tony, and we are excited to get into this next topic. I feel like Sarun might be the expert on this one. Because we're talking about how to build bonds and how to strengthen those bonds with somebody that you may have just met, whether that is in a friendship role or whether you're trying to go down a more romantic route. How do you kind of strengthen it so that it's less than, or it's more than just a surface level relationship? So I don't know, who wants to kind of start there? Did anybody have any advice?
Jump in my little bag. So yeah, I think you have to go with, for me at least, I like to explore a person's world and then invite them to explore my world. And then we combine the two for further, so you have it all mixed in. So for example, if I was hanging out with Melvin, right? And it was like, I don't know much about Melvin. Melvin, let's figure something out. Let's go into your event. What's an event coming up, or a social activity, right? Something that you like to do, places you like to eat, and go there, right? Okay, so this is Melvin's world. This is nice. I'm walking around like a little video game, exploring his life, his story, his world. It's not balanced yet. It's like I just want to be in his world. And then for me, okay, let's visit my world. See what you can learn from it. And for me, building bonds means experiencing something brand new, and not necessarily having that romanticized idea yet, just getting to know a person and seeing things that scare them, things that irk them, things that make them happy, joy, their overall being. Yeah. And then vice versa. Okay, come to my community, things that I enjoy. And then we'll mesh it, when it gets to a great level, we'll mesh it in together. Okay. Because if it was into crack cocaine, I ain't gonna... I'm not gonna continue walking around. Right? So,
crack is whack.
That just came out of nowhere.
It's just an example where I'm just giving an example of like that's when the journey stops. And a very abrupt one. And it's like, yeah, we're not gonna visit my world yet. I'll see y'all on social media.
I do not do crack cocaine.
No, he doesn't do it.
I don't do cocaine or crack or whatever the combination.
No crack. It was just an example.
I don't do either or.
But yeah, so that's my thing. You got a balance of for me at least. I really do want to just dive into someone's world, and they could dive into my world.
So what happens if they don't open up their world to you? I mean, I guess like, what does that look like? Because I mean, for me, sometimes I feel like, opening up my world is kind of inviting you to meet some of my friends and stuff like that, and then it's just like, what if you don't necessarily get that returned?
So here's the thing about that. And so the whole thing about bond is a comfort level. How do I get to a stronger comfort level, or a level that we're comfortable with each other? When you talk about setting bonds, one, you got to be comfortable with opening up. One. Two, if I'm opening up, I'm showing a level of vulnerability, authenticity, and openness. I got to be willing to put my shit out first. If I want to build a bond, I have to set the expectation. I have to be vulnerable. I'm not expecting you to be vulnerable. If I want to build a bond with you, I'm gonna show you my shit. This is who I am. I'm being open, honest, and vulnerable. I think that shows a level of comfort. That I'm able to let my hair down. I'm able to let you into my world. Meaning I trust you. So bonds build with trust. Trust starts with me opening up and being authentic. Authentic. I think it has to start right there. Trust comes with bonding, or bonding comes with trust. Trust comes with authenticity and openness.
Yeah. I will also say that I feel like when you're trying to build a bond, it really depends on having a lot of those experiences together and moments that you can look back on and be like, hey, do you remember when so-and-so did blah, blah, blah? And then you just start laughing at something, like those are the moments that you have to have if you want to build some kind of relationship, whether it's friendships or romantic. And I feel a lot of times it's just, and I don't know, I think we've gone over this before, like I like to get to that point. I like to have moments with people as opposed to chit-chatting online or chit-chatting, you know, like let's go make some experiences or memories or something. Like it doesn't even have to be, I mean, like when you say memories, sometimes that can come off as a little bit deep, but you know what it's about that, it's kind of the same thing. It's like, you know, let's have some experiences that we can, or at least give us the potential to have some experience.
Like your trip to Portugal with the group of friends. That
Right. So now, you know, I have a deeper relationship with some of those guys because we can look back on, you know, the moments that we had there. Like,
we had so much fun in Portugal.
Yeah.
Remember when
Yeah. Remember the guy whistled at me, blah, 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 you know?
He was like, come get this.
But what about when we have a friendship group like Melvin and I, and we took a trip to Paris? Yes, we were already building bonds before we took a trip. And we had a lot of good memories from the trip that we still talk about today. Right. So what about just something before you even have a memory type of thing? What about what about something before you even have experiences to talk about? Remember when? I think when I think of the question, I'm thinking about building bonds to get to those type of moments.
To get to that.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I think of that question.
Yeah.
And I have just a little bit of a story time. Because this goes right into this point that we're talking about. Somebody somebody who followed BoyFriends podcast requested to be friends with me, and I just at first I thought it was just like a natural follower type of thing. He said, "Hey, I follow the show. I think you're awesome. I want us to get to know each other." I was like, "Okay, all right, cool."
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I was like,
I was like a little standoffish. I was like, "Okay, cool." And he was like, "We should go out to dinner. I would love to meet you." I'm like, really? At this, I'm like, what is this? What is this giving? And I was like, cool. I said, all right, let's go out. We met, and he was bomb. I was like, so why did you want to meet? He was like, I just feel like your spirit is really good. I want to get to know you. I saw you on the show. I relate to a lot of things you say. Building bonds, right? Showing my true self. Him showing who he is, his true self. Just starting a good friendship. Yeah.
And at first, it was a little off-putting because you don't get that type of stuff naturally and often, but I was open to the process. So building bonds includes us linking up, us doing things to promote unity, us doing things. Effort. Exactly. He put it in the effort to reach out to say, hey, let's link up and I want to get to know you. He basically said the words, I want to get to know you off the podcast, off the app. I see you in this different light. I want to know you. I said that was very strong for somebody to just say those words, and I was like, okay, cool, let's do it.
Yeah,
that is building bonds. You showing who you are and you being okay with learning who somebody else is, because naturally you can see Instagram, Facebook as people showing what they want you to see, but we talking about off the app. We talking about off the air for BoyFriends podcast.
You have to really get to know somebody, and I think you know, good on you, Tony, for being open enough to somebody reaching out to you that way, because there are a lot of times where people are just like, wait, what are we doing? Like, no, we're not going there. And it's just like, you have to kind of be open to people. You kind of like, if you want some kind of relationship, if you want some kind of friendships, you kind of have to be open to receiving that as well. You can't be so closed off.
And with the guy that did that, his intent was transparent. I love that, right?
Yes.
Put it out.
Can we just shout him out? Let's just give a shout out to Viral.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Let's give him a hand clap. Yeah. Y'all said his name?
Yeah, he said.
Hello, Viral. We love you.
Oh, he's so sweet.
Oh yeah.
We love you, Viral.
Side note, I unprivate my Instagram
because you don't text
for like 3 days. So like people are in my Instagram. No, I think it's back to private now though. But
what happened? Oh,
I unprivated my Instagram for like 3 days.
Okay.
Which is
so people could just like.
So not like the people who were in limbo, they're in my list now. So it's just, it was a lot for me just to make it unprivate for a little bit. But I think it's back to private.
You got to tell us next time so we can like put it on.
Yeah, we can advertise.
Ron is open. It's open.
Get your applications in now.
Jarrod, did he tell you he was going to like reach out to me or anything like that?
No, we had dinner and he mentioned that he had dinner with you, and so that's how I knew that you guys had linked up. But he's really.
I need to get pizza.
He's
with
really
him,
cool.
Actually.
Yeah, and he kind of wants to, I don't know, he kind of wants to see all of us together. So maybe we'll have him on as a guest at some point.
We should. He's so sweet.
Because he had mentioned that we kind of helped him
Cultivate his own.
Yeah, exactly.
Cultivate a podcast?
No, his relationship.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so,
shout out. Hey.
Little old us.
It probably wasn't my
look,
advice.
we're helping.
We're helping.
As crazy as we are, we do some
do a
help
little
sometimes.
Oh my God.
But yeah, I think I agree with both. Like, to even get to the point where you can make experiences, you definitely have to be open to the idea of building a bond. I think for me, when I look back, when I first moved to New York, I had friends already there.
Yeah.
And they had their friends. And it was a little off-putting. I don't know if I wouldn't say I was jealous or anything, because that definitely wasn't the case.
He was
but
jealous.
I think it was just, I went into New York thinking that I would just be with my friends and my friends only. So when they tried to introduce me to new people, I wasn't as receptive to the idea. And so I was kind of nitpicking and looking for a reason not to hang out with these people. And so I was never able to connect with those people or like build those bonds with those people like that, because I wasn't open to the idea. Even though, they came around often, but I just was like all of their friends and they're my friends. And then we associate when we associate. And so it just, I think you have to be open to the idea, even if, because the experience won't be the same if you're not open to the idea of like, this person could potentially be a partner or and be a friend. You have to be open to the idea of whatever that relationship could grow into.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want a friend, you got to learn how to be a friend.
Yeah.
What does that even mean for you personally?
I don't know why, but the Golden Girls theme just rang in my head.
Thank you
when
for being a friend.
Thank you for being. And you got to sing the black version. Whoa, whoa. I wish Tony can sing. He could probably do it better
Not like
than
you,
I
though.
can. I don't think no one can sing because I cannot. I cannot sing.
Yeah, but that it reminds me of being out with friends, and I was talking to one guy, and I guess I don't know whether this is a little bit off topic, I guess, but I was talking with one guy. It was like a really friendly kind of atmosphere, and then I tried to introduce him to my friends. And they were all just, I was like, hey, this is so-and-so. And they were all just like, hey, that little women clip where she's like, hey, how you doing?
Oh,
and everybody's looking.
Okay.
It's just very dry. And I was just like, well, damn, like, why can't we just be like a little bit more open with people? And we don't always have to measure stuff. Like,
Are you showing your color? So if I would have did that, okay, so you enter a room, let's say you're the person and you get to know new people, show your color or show them the true authenticity. Like, be you. If people don't receive that, that's the fuck on them. Like, okay.
No, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, but I would say, like, if a friend is co-signing this new person, I mean, and not even to like be in with y'all like that, but just to like when you're in a social space and you're trying to introduce somebody so that you can kind of like talk and you're not just with each other all the whole time. Like, I feel like the people that you're with should be open enough to like receive that on some level.
And to my point with that, Jeremy was my friend, right? And he's that Jeremy is my friend, not was my friend. He's my friend. When Melvin came into the picture, I think we automatically
we clicked up really fast.
We was like Aquarian vibes and sister brothers. Like, damn, like me and Melvin just automatically from day one we connect. I'm like, your ass is fat, mine's is fat. You're an Aquarius, I'm an Aquarius.
And it is.
You like to twerk, I like to twerk. And like just automatically.
Really instant.
And here's the thing with that. You talking about you hope people the group receives you. Sometimes it's about singular. Sometimes you got to make a connection with one person and then another connection with another person in the group. Sometimes the whole fucking group ain't gonna be for you. But you make a connection with one person and it's like, oh yeah, Sarun ain't that bad. Let me talk to Sarun. He's good because you're the new person.
Right.
It's you. I don't have to receive you as a group. I'm looking at you sideways like, okay, hey, that's Jeremy new boyfriend. Oh, okay.
Why are you giving that energy?
Because you want to protect what you got going on. Sometimes your circle is not meant for people to come in and out because people take advantage of that sometimes.
Well, I'm just, but okay.
I do.
You are
My
being
thing is-
apprehensive.
My thing is, I
about that.
understand if it's going to be like a lasting relationship. Like I'm bringing somebody into the group for y'all to like know him and to see him consistently. But if we're just out at a club and this is just some random person that I met and they're really cool and we're vibing and whatever, and I kind of want to bring him over into the group so that we can chit chat or whatever together, and it's not that deep. I don't understand. Like, I would want my friends to be like, hey, how are you? Like, where are you from? Blah 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 blah. I don't just like I don't like when I bring somebody over, don't shut the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, don't
because
put
now
up a
I
wall.
look stupid. Because now
Yeah.
I look like, you know, what the hell you bring me over here for?
Okay,
You know?
I get that.
I was with you, almost like. So I am that, but you've never had a bad experience with that? Like your friend introduces somebody and that person end up being weird or crazy or something, and then so it doesn't.
And that's a bonding moment for everyone. Like,
And so,
do you remember that? Do you remember that crazy person?
So it becomes a thing of not necessarily not being open to it, but it's almost about I got to protect my peace, you know, and so I can't just be like. Just because you vouch for them don't mean anything, you know. I have my own opinion, and it's not to say that you're a bad person or you're a bad judge of character.
You know,
or anything.
I get it, but I mean, I think that's just how I roll. Like, I'm gonna be with people who are going to be a little bit more inclusive, like across the board. And
so
if
have you never had a bad experience?
I've had a bad experience. Like I will say recently, you know, I was out with one of my friends. I want to say a few months ago, and we met this one guy at an event. And it ended up that he was just like really rude to a lot of people. And it ended, you know, it started off okay, but then after a while it was just like, oh, we don't really even want this person in our space. You know what I'm saying? But I think you deal with that when you get there. We don't have to pre-screen people when we're in a social atmosphere. I mean, that's just not, I am an innocent until proven guilty type of person. I'm not trying to like
make them guilty.
Yeah, that's just, you know, and
Well,
I
get it.
You know.
Well, we've been there before, and we've talked about this individual in many lights, where this person came to several friendship circles in the Black gay community. Right, Melvin? This person came to several circles, and you fell out with circle 1. Then you move on to circle 2. And in each circle, people were inviting. People were welcoming you. Hey, okay, you're new. Or you say you're new, you're new, and you come on, and people welcome you with open arms, and then you do the same shit that you did in circle A. Then you bring in the same shit in circle B. And so by the time circle 3 comes around, and we're all in the same circles, I may be in circle B and circle A, and then you come around in circle C, and I'm still in that circle 2, and you're the new person in. It's like, hold on now.
Are they sub-circles? Because I'm getting
they
A's,
imagine
ones,
like a pie
2s,
graph.
and 3s.
I was thinking galaxies, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Like the Venn diagram.
Yeah, the Venn diagram. Thank you. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying too.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, now we got to be on edge because of how you showed your ass in circle A and circle B.
Yeah.
But you're with a new circle this time around, but I'm still from circle A and B. We know how you are. You show your shit. And so now people are apprehensive how to receive you. You just want building bonds, but you showed your ass before. I don't want to build a bond with your ass.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that because at that point you have a reputation
Right.
Yeah.
with 1 or 2 people, and it's just like, yeah.
But then if you're the friend that brought this person around, I'm going to be looking at you sideways.
Oh, that happened to me before too.
Like, come on.
I brought somebody to Jeremy's party. This is when we were first dating. Oh, it was so embarrassing. And I didn't even know the person that well. But I was like, we know of each other. He was like the only person I knew in Philly, like outside of Philly, you know, like besides Jeremy. And so I brought him to the party and he got into a fight. And I was so embarrassed.
Like a physical fight?
Yeah. With one of Jeremy's friends.
See?
And
Listen.
so that made it even worse. And it's like, you brought this person. And so I think maybe that is like a wall I've put up now. So when it comes to introducing people to my circle, it takes a minute. You got to like, I'll talk to you, and I'm very open to meeting new people. Like, but as far as bringing it to the circle, that's a different story.
It is. It has to be protected.
Yeah.
It's not a matter about, we're not being inclusive or we're being shady or anything. It's like, we already got something good going on. You're bringing new energy into the space. Is the energy going to be received? One, we're an open group. And so we're most likely not going to receive you. It's like, okay, you got good energy. Hey, come on, just vibe with us. I got to feel it first before I bring you around my friends, before I bring you around my family. And I got to be sure. Mm-hmm. It ain't I just met you 2 days ago and, like, we're coming around.
It's not even like that, though. I mean, I'm just like, if you're in a club, you're in a social atmosphere. So I just feel like you're there to meet people. And that's the thing that I really don't get. That's what I really don't get about the club.
And I think that's another thing. Like, so when I go to a club, I think I'm there to dance. Like, dance, drink, and have a good time. Not
and I'm
meeting
learning.
New people is like that can happen, but it's not my purpose of being there.
Yeah, I get it. And I'm learning to just like shut it down because nobody's about meeting people in the club or a bar. They want to go to a crowded place to be in their circle and talk with the two people that they could talk with at home with cheaper drinks. It makes absolutely no sense. And they could have control over the music that they dance to at home. But so why are you out in the club? I'm trying to understand. I don't get it.
Because you don't get to dance and look cute. It's just about.
But, I mean, you can you can have if you want to be with your friends and not talk to anybody. Yeah. You have control over your experience at home. You can do the playlist. You got your drinks, and it's cheaper. You got. I mean, like, why?
You can go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying you.
What are you talking about?
That's still social?
Saying it's still a social setting.
No, it's not. You're not going. You're not hopping up to somebody else's table and like nobody talks.
Some restaurants got bars.
They have bars. You can meet people at the restaurant.
You can meet people at the bar. That's one thing.
And it's even quieter. So one could say it's better to meet people there because you can actually have a conversation.
That's so weird.
Bars and restaurants are two different things now.
Okay, so
come on.
A club is different than a bar.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
You're not going to a club to meet somebody.
I use club and bar like interchangeably.
Synonymous.
Yeah.
But okay, let me put this out there. Also, Jarrod, you don't have a lot of black gay friends either. And so when we talk about the scenery for black gay people is very different than the scenery for everybody who's outside of black and gay. I'm gonna be completely honest.
It's a cultural thing. Like it just is what it is. Like I think when you go to a white bar compared to going to a black bar, and I think everybody can agree to that. Like I've seen movies where they say, I don't want to go to the black club because the boys dance on you too hard. They too aggressive. But if you go to a white bar, nobody's dancing. They like kind of just chatting, talking. And you might see that drunk person dancing to whatever song that's playing, but it's more so about socializing, like what I think is what you're referring to. But I think at the clubs that I go to, like people are there to dance and have a good time. Well,
yeah, I mean, there are some bars that are generally just to stand around and talk, and I think I am much better in a bar like that where you're able to like communicate with people. Because once you get to a club, if you're not like, the 6'2" muscle god in the club, then there's chances. The chances of you like hooking up with, not hooking up, but just like even talking with somebody or like learning who somebody is, that's just completely low because everybody's there to dance and nobody so it's a completely different.
I'll give you so they probably, for our people outside of Philly, y'all don't know about Woody's. But I think Woody's is a great example because it's such a big club. Woody's has 6 rooms? Yeah, like and so the main floor, you cannot really hear the music at all. It's very low. People are there just talking, getting drinks. But if you go to the Latin side, the music is like booming, and people not there talking. They just dancing, drinking, having a good time. And then they have the hip-hop section. Upstairs. And it's like kind of the same thing. But then if you can go in the hallway if you want to talk to somebody, you know what I mean? So I think it just really just depends on what you're there for.
I'm not meeting nobody at a bar, at a club. I'm not going for the sole purpose to talk, oh, maybe that's the night I'm going to meet Tom or Dick or Harry. I'm going to go out there and meet them. And I don't look at the bar or club as a socialization event. I look at it as an event for socialization with my friends. We're going to go out to the bar. Let's go out to the club, y'all, tonight.
So then why do you sit on people's laps?
Because it's funny. It's cute. But I don't anticipate me going actually to meet with somebody. Now, if I sit on your lap, it's like, hey, I'm drunk. What's up with you? How you doing? What's your name?
But that's socializing.
But it's not for the purpose of socializing. I don't intend. It's not intentional to do it that way. For me, doing that is a sporadic moment.
Like you saying, you're not going out to the club specifically to sit on somebody's lap.
No.
So for me, I'm on Tony's boat. Like I don't club often at all, but if I do go out, it's with my friends, right? And none of us, I think 90% of the time, 99% of the time, we're not going to a club or a bar to meet new people.
Jarrod is.
If we happen to chat with people, yeah, sure.
You're not talking about me right now.
I'm just saying, but no, you said nobody. I'm saying Jarrod is.
so and I guess I'll be really forward. I've never gone to a bar to meet new people ever. That is the purpose, because I'm going to have to dance with my friends, get extra drunk, bar hop to get more drunk with my friends,
make another memory.
And then we'll bump into other people, we'll laugh, that's it. But I don't anticipate making a new friend at a bar, but if it happens, it happens, which has never happened. I've never made a friend at a bar or a club.
That does not surprise me.
So, I'm gonna have your back for a second, because you're not alone.
Why you touch me?
I'm gonna have your back for a second. Okay. You're not alone in this world. I have a friend. He told me to mention his name, Philip. That's your shout out.
Hey, Philip.
He specifically goes to this one bar in Houston. Like every time we went out, he made sure we went to this one bar in Houston, because he's like, I want to go to find me somebody. I want to be hollered at. I want to be seen. I want somebody to talk to. So he went to this specific bar and they play loud music and all that. But he knows this is where the people are. This is where the men are at. So he wants to go to this bar specifically so he can always he wants somebody to talk to him. Yeah. He wants to meet, he wants to socialize. Yeah. So you're not alone in that. So people do.
No, I go out to socialize. I definitely go out with my friends, and a lot of times I feel like we do go out with the intent of meeting people, honestly, because it's just fun to meet new people, and then we can add to our group, because we do have a solid group right now. But I think it's just fun to just I don't think I fully go out with the intent of meeting someone. I obviously want to have fun with my friends, but it's also it's fun just meeting new people. Yeah. I like it. I think that's why I like going out too. And then I think it's also a great way to form a stronger bond with your friends, and then you could just have a strong bond with someone that you just met. Just instantly click. I love when that happens with me and a girl at a bar. And I we just met and we're already best friends. The girls' bathroom is where it's at, y'all. I know you guys haven't experienced it, but it's the best.
Maybe in the straight bar. Well, no. The gay bar, the girls' bathroom. Well, they both be nasty.
Nasty as hell.
But really? I get the idea you're talking about, because sometimes people will be in the bar, they'll just be chit-chatting, and it'll just be a whole different vibe in the bathroom.
Honestly, I think one of my biggest ways to bond with someone is just to get drunk, watch movies, and just trauma share. That's how you really get a nice bond.
Goodness.
So that's how me and Tyler became really good friends.
Really? I mean,
just a drunk
whatever
trauma
works,
share.
I guess, but yeah.
And in those moments, I mean, I know you was joking, but let's just bring it around really quick. In those moments, you're being open, honest, and vulnerable. And see, that's what I'm talking about. The connection, that's a bonding moment. Him or her talking about, I hate that you call it trauma sharing.
Sorry, heart to heart.
Ooh, you know me. I'm just ooh, Renee. But in that moment, you're sharing personal shit about you.
Yeah, heart to heart. Sorry for people that are triggered by my trauma share.
Well, the word trauma, is that triggering?
It can be. Okay. So heart to heart, I apologize. We had a very, very deep heart to heart one night, and after that, it was just sealed. I was oh, this is my best friend. This is my maid of honor one day.
Similarities and,
and
connection.
Exactly. It was so perfect, because when we met, we were in the exact same position in our lives, and we just really bonded over that. And shout out Tyler, you're my best friend ever.
What about the moment for people? I'm trying to bond and I can't find nothing to bond with you about. I really want to kayak, Sarun, but I don't like the water. I can't connect with you. I don't like that. How are we having moments where people are trying to bond with people? It just ain't there. Yeah.
Sometimes that's okay.
investment, and
if you can't bond, I don't think it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
And it's not bad. It's not a
bad
negative.
thing.
It's just chill.
Yeah. And one thing that you always say that I really like. How does it go? Opposites attract, but
similarities cement.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing. If y'all don't have nothing in common, it's gonna be hard to find that moment where you can bond, or be able to make that experience or make that memory or whatever you want to call it.
But do I keep on pressing it? Do I keep on trying to get something out of a fucking rock if a rock ain't gonna bleed no water?
Yeah.
And it has to be mutual. You can't be doing it by yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
The other person needs to be putting in the effort, because then it's no point.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you don't like the same things, if you're not, like it could be something similar, like, I don't know, like, you know, if me and Sarun, like, I probably will never, I don't know, I'm interested in haunted houses, but I don't want nothing following me back. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay. I don't know, I've
what
seen stuff where, like, a spirit will, like, attach to you or something.
We'll go with a priest. You can bless us on the way out.
To hang out with me, I guess.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, you know, like, we probably would not be in a haunted house together.
I thought you meant like the
would you have a picnic in a graveyard with Sarun?
I might, but see, like, they're like, I'm
kidding.
I'm like, where's like way off point. I was just trying to come up with an example because I know that you like the paranormal and stuff like that. So, like, you know, we could do this together, or we could like go and have lunch together. But like, haunted house thing, we might not be able to do.
A party with living people.
Yes.
I thought you meant like the haunted house where, you know, it's like fake. Not like
no, real shit, real gory shit.
Like gory.
I'm talking like,
I mean, not gory, you know what I mean? Yeah, like real haunted shit.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah. Like the whatever. What's it? Amityville horror or whatever. Yeah.
So I always have this. Okay.
I always want to go to Lizzie Borden's house.
All I was trying to say was like, if there are things that you still can do, we could still go out and we could still form a bond through other things like we have here. But there are some people where you can't, like, I like to go out and I like to go to the bars. I like to be social. If you don't like to do that, and if that's the only other thing aside, like if you like to do the hiking and the kayaking and the rock climbing and stuff like that, and I'm not really all up into that, I can do like a gym rock climbing thing, but I'm not doing actual rock climbing. I'm not doing that. But if that's what you like to do, and if our interests don't align, then it's just, you know, cool. It's cool. Like, we don't, you know, you have to learn to like let some things go.
Everything not meant to be.
Exactly. So, you know, try it, but if it don't work.
Like we was talking last time we were together and talking about the D&D. I told you I wanted to get into the D&D world. See what it's about.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay, I was like, what?
Do not disturb. I was trying to get into the do not disturb world. But okay, I'm gonna be honest. From the outside, hearing about it, and from people who talked about, like, you guys, I was like, oh, this is some nerd type of shit. It's like, what is this? Like, what? And then y'all would tell me about it. I was like, oh my God, I want to see what it's about. I said, fun. I love improv. I love stuff like that. I like acting. What? I said, this would be great. They were just telling me about the Dungeons and Dragons world.
Is improv?
Technically,
sort of.
I thought it was like a game.
It is a game.
I think of math. Is it like math?
No.
Well, there's a little bit of math involved.
Oh.
Because you have to roll and you have to, you know. Yeah. But it's just like simple math.
Yeah, role playing.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, basically you pick a character, you kind of follow, you have somebody who like sets up the story, and then the players are the characters who are making the story go. So, you know, you basically would be acting as a character in the game at the table.
I feel like I would love to see this.
Yeah,
I said the same thing.
It was fun.
I want to get into it. I want to see what this is about. Yeah. I think I would love it. And that's another bonding moment. I've never been before. Yeah. Renee, take me. Jarrod, take me. I want to see what it's about. Bonding again. I may have not had those type of interests before. Maybe I have a new interest now. You don't have to have the same shit when you're bonding with people. I might learn to like something new. But am I open?
Exactly.
That's what we're talking about. Are you open to new experiences? Are you receptive?
Yeah.
You know? And I rest my case.
Piggyback off of one of the older episodes that I wasn't on, unfortunately. Join a club. Join an organization. Like, you guys have the tennis club. You guys, obviously, if you join the tennis club, that's something in common because you guys know how to play tennis together.
Great way to bond.
Or a book club. I was in the book club. Sorry to my book club members. I'll be back.
He's lying. He ain't coming back.
I might start my own book club.
Yeah, I think also just trying something new together that neither of you have done before. Yes. That could be fun.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of ways to bond, and but how to make a bond stronger. Like, do you guys have any advice for that? Like, let's say that you guys have been bonding really well, but like you want to go like a little bit deeper or something. How would you guys try to do that with your friends?
You have to,
or a boyfriend.
I would say you have to be vulnerable enough to let them support you in those hard moments. That's at least that's one thing. Like there has to be a level of trust built there for this piece of it. But you know, if you're going through something, open up, let them know, let them be there for you, or, you know, at least talk through it with them and see how they are with you when you're not feeling your absolute best. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the ways to deepen a relationship, is to really allow the person the space to show up for you.
I'm gonna go the opposite route. I'm gonna say,
as always,
and I'm gonna continue to stick by you.
And I do it again.
Hello. I'm gonna say, in order to build bonds, you also gotta have conflict.
Yes, be able to work through that conflict.
Sure. And you're talking about shit that really needs to be hashed out. Oh, thank you, Jarrod, for having this conversation with me, because I thought we were in a better space, but it looked like we're not actually there. And we're talking about this now. We're talking about conflict being resolved. And so that could have been a bonding moment now. It's like, damn, I hear you now, but I didn't hear you before. I'm able to talk about it because of our conflict. That's a bonding moment because we see each other and we hear each other in a different space now. And so you're talking about interest. I'm going a different route. For sure. Maybe we need to bond because of our conflict. That's just me. How do you feel?
I know for me, my two closest friends that knows me the best, we had the most arguments, most fights, stopped talking, went back at it. And in the end, they're my two strongest warriors that are beside me because they know my weak points. I know their weak points. I know how to protect them. They know how to protect me. We know how to make sure that we excel together, we grow together. And if we're not growing together, we know how to support one another to get to that level we want to get to. And they're the only two people that can do that for me. And it's because of the arguments. I would say I'm the closest with them and we're closest together because compared to my other friend levels, I guess, other friends I haven't had much arguments with, and it doesn't feel like they know my weaknesses as much or protect me as so yeah, I totally agree with you. Arguments really level you up. Debates, and then you know when you're in spaces where someone's attacking you, it'll go over my head, but the friend will know, right? Because they can defend you and they help protect you back and forth.
But I think the important thing is to not look for fights either.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Right.
So I was gonna actually say, and Tony's definitely been in my house a few times where we'll, put questions in the hat. So it'll be, sometimes it'll be a little spicy, sometimes it's funny, whatever. But sometimes you'll get those questions where the room will not agree. But after because we make sure we keep it very respectful. We put that out in the beginning, like respect one another's opinion, don't attack someone, don't judge someone, blah blah blah. But then through that, we're able to see different opinions, oh, I didn't know you felt this way about this, or I see this in a different light now because of the way you brought it up to me or whatever, and I think that builds a different bond because, I feel closer to you because I know something about you that I didn't know before, you know what I mean? And so I think those are both great points.
Have you and Tony had fights, big blowout fights?
No.
But I'm going to tell you, honestly, in our friendship group, I don't think none of us have had big blowout fights, knock you out, drag you out type of fights like that. I think we understand the culture of our group. And yes, there is a culture in our friendship group. We understand who we are. And we're just, yes, we have shady moments. We have loud, catty moments. But we don't take it so personal that we can't be fucking friends. And I mean, I'm going to take a little step further because you know me.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
You know me. And so if you claim I'm going to be this type of person, you don't fucking know me.
Right.
Yeah.
If you say I'm always like this, I'm always like that, a friend ain't gonna take that shit too serious because okay, that's how Tony is, but he means no harm from it. Yeah, exactly. If you're in a moment of contention with me all the time, it's like, well, that's not my intention to be that way with you. Maybe you really don't know me. I'm coming from a point of love. I'm coming from a point of respect, but I also want you to know that I am caring for you. It's out of love. People, I think, have perceptions of certain friendship groups, and that's why they come in off the street and say, oh, your friendship group is this, and your friendship group is that. No, sometimes we understand each other, and that's just that. And sometimes we know each other. And there's nothing wrong with that either. I don't honestly, my personal opinion about building bonds, I think it starts with trust.
Mm-hmm.
You can't build any type of thing if you don't trust me. You can't. I'm just gonna stand on that.
Yep.
And you don't know me
agree.
because you don't trust me. You can't trust me because you don't know.
No,
It's
I
a
mean, I
circular
think
reason.
sometimes people can know who you are and not trust you. You know.
No, I don't believe
I think
that.
that's very possible.
I don't believe
Wait,
it.
what do you mean?
I think when you know somebody, I think you do
Or
know
you have your
somebody.
perception of them?
Yeah, when you know somebody, you can decide like, yeah, I don't trust that person. I think that's possible.
Because some people are just shady in general.
Yeah.
Like that's just
I
who they
think
are.
Some people are just shady.
Yeah. For me,
But do you know them to call them shady?
That's what
I think
I was gonna
actions,
say.
sometimes the
Like,
actions speak loud. Yeah. But for me, it's intent, right? Like trust and intent goes together. And for me to reach any type of walking journey with a relationship of bonds, the intent needs to be there in the forefront, right? So definitely trust and things like that. But yeah, people can be totally shady. You just don't want to be around that energy. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's also about understanding that it's not necessarily because I would try not to call someone something. I might feel that they're being shady, but I would say that's just my perception of them, and it's okay that they might not feel that they're shady, you know. And so, like, it's okay for somebody to not be for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a reflection on them. It's more a reflection on you, if that makes sense.
You think so?
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Because if they had friends, then that's why they wouldn't have friends if your perception of them is so true. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. I think that you can have your opinion about someone, and that is okay.
I don't think that reflects on you though. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
it's a reflection because it's how you perceive them, and that's more
Okay.
so about what's inside of you because everybody doesn't perceive them that way.
no, not and
Yeah.
yeah, I get that, but it's just like, your relationship with a certain person, it's a reflection on both, to be quite honest. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I don't think it's all one-sided. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
I want you to open up about that a little bit more now.
What should I open up about?
About how do you feel your relationship with a person is not one-sided. How somebody feels about me is none of my business. I'm gonna be honest. If you feel a certain way about how you perceive me, and I don't know about it, but everybody else feels about me different. How you feel about it's not my business. That's your point of view. That's a thing that you have to come to terms with. Why do I have to come to terms with that? When it's how you feel.
Nothing you have to come to terms with, but I'm just saying it's like, you have a perception of somebody, but that doesn't mean that's
The perception.
It's not fact.
Thank
Is
you.
that what you're saying?
whatever. I don't know where we're going with this, but we can go somewhere else with this because this is like, we talking
It's a
in
little
circles at this
far. A
point.
little far off.
Yeah, we kind of got off
Okay.
the point a little.
So building bonds
It starts with trust. I believe.
starts
Yeah,
with trust. I agree with that. You have to be
vulnerability.
open.
I can't say that word.
I can't talk it on today.
Trust, vulnerability.
I think
Vulnerability.
Thank
I think
you.
me and Jarrod are gonna say experiences, right? I think all three of us.
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
We
experiences.
definitely would like experience is a thing.
Yeah.
And being open.
Open, yeah.
Being open, being receptive.
Being open to that bond.
Yeah.
So we
And
got
be willing to
trust.
be challenged, so you can grow together.
Being vulnerable.
There we
I'm
go.
not gonna
Come
say-
on, Sarun.
So we got trust,
There we go.
being open, growth or being challenged, experiences. What was the other one you guys
Being
said?
vulnerable.
And vulnerability.
That is how you get your bond. You're welcome.
I like it.
Let me drop my nugget right there.
I like that.
Just right on
I
the
feel
table.
like did you say vulnerability twice in that list?
Maybe. But it's
I don't know. I
important.
Vulnerability is very important. Yes.
Especially when you can't say it. Vulnerability.
There we go.
Okay, I said it right?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. So, if there's any other questions that you guys have for us about this topic, because it's a very kind of like, it's not really concrete steps to build those bonds as opposed to just like getting out in the world and meeting each other and just kind of letting things.
Being there for each other.
Yeah. But if you have any more questions, please let us know. DM us, comment, and let's talk about this topic a little bit more. And thank you so much for watching and enjoying this episode. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. And we will be with you with a new episode next week. So if you have nobody else,
You've got us.